Half of us too ugly to even have to worry about that type of shit. Even undesirable men are more safe than undesirable women. We living in this privilege, man. We gullible. And sometimes we need another man to pop our bubble and help us understand that, hey, you don't understand how good you got it. Even on your worst day, you don't got to worry about nobody trying to grape you in the street. You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to beat you up and harass you now and follow you all the way home, all because you won't give them a little bit of attention. Even the most undesirable man don't got to worry about that. Men are privileged. Welcome back to the Halfway Up podcast, and I call it Halfway Up because you're never finished rising. And today, man, we about to have a conversation that's needed. We about to have a conversation that's past due, at least on this platform. Man, I wanted to have this conversation like a year ago, man. And you want to know why I didn't have it? Because I was thinking about the money. I was thinking, ooh, this would be perfect to put on a t-shirt. This would be perfect to put on anything, any kind of branding at all where I can make a profit that I can monetize on it. Not that I'm trying to pimp the message, but, you know, a nigga got to eat at the end of the day, you know? I mean, this podcast shit don't happen for free. I mean, it kind of happens for free for me because I'm an engineer at the studio, but you get my point, though. Niggas got to make these bills, man. We got to make these dollars currency. We got to make it happen. And I decided, you know what? Fuck that. I was scared that somebody was going to try and take this combination of words from me once they heard it because, you know, once you hear it, it just sounds like something that you should have been heard already. It's one of them things when you hear it, it's like, ooh, I love that. It hits, right? And I ain't want to release it. I ain't want to release it because I was scared that somebody was going to take it and start monetizing on it before I could. But then you know what? I had to start thinking and realize at the end of the day, fear is not of God, man. This is a good message. It's positive energy behind this message. And if I put this positive energy out there and it might affect and change lives, isn't that way more important than any money that I might be missing out on? It's not that I don't want to get paid because I definitely need to get this bread for sure. Niggas got dreams, niggas got rent, goals, and bills to worry about. But what's bigger than all of those things, what's bigger than anything that can be related to money is universal karma, universal energy, and being good in the eyes of the Lord and hopefully making a positive change and influencing somebody to act right and do better. That's way more important than any money that I could be making or missing out on. And that's why I want to have this conversation with y'all, man, and it's past due. And at the end of the day, at the very best, I just hope that it inspires somebody to be different, inspires somebody to change. Because something that I understand very well, you can't grow into something that you're not exposed to first. Now imagine expecting somebody to have table manners without being taught how to have table manners first. It would never happen. It would never happen. It's natural for you to want to put your elbows on the table. It's natural for you to talk with your mouth open. You can smacking and all that shit. Excuse me, y'all. Pardon me. You don't have to get the demonstration, but it's natural to want to do that. It's not until you meet somebody who done got some class and then they can educate you. That's how you learn these things. And I don't see this being any different. So this conversation that I'm about to have with y'all, make women feel safe again. Not make America great again. I don't know if America was ever great, though I love America, even though it's fucked up, especially for a black person, especially for a nigga who look like me. But we talking about make women feel safe again. Now the question is, were women ever really safe? I don't really know. Women have went through a lot of things in our culture. Women have went through a lot of things in society, and I'm talking all societies all around the world. Every country, every nationality, every religion. As long as women have been around, I don't know if they've ever been able to truly be free. Because usually there was a system that was designed by men oppressing them and holding them down out of fear, out of just hatred, out of evilness. So I don't know if women were ever safe to begin with, to be completely honest, but the slogan still stands. I think the message is still resilient that we must make them feel safe. Because I don't know if there's enough of us out here doing our part to make women feel good. Women make men feel safe all the time. You want to know how I know that? Because a lot of us was raised by our grandmothers. Because a lot of us was raised by our mothers in single parent households. A lot of our moms was working 2-3 jobs. Now, how our mothers got that way, not my concern. Because I already hear you niggas. I already hear some of you niggas manosphere, red pill ass niggas, and some of you niggas just like to debate and argue. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at you. But this conversation is not about what the women did wrong. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's hands is dirty. Nobody's clean. Everybody guilty out this motherfucker. This ain't that conversation. This is the conversation about what we can do to help and what we can do to fix things. If you ever been in a relationship, some of y'all niggas is losers, so you don't know nothing about that. But if you ever been in a relationship, everybody knows what it's like to get in that standstill moment between you and your partner where you're pointing the finger at each other like Spider-Man and you never get to the results. You never get to the healing. You never even get to that place because you're too busy worrying about you did this. And because you did that, I can't do what you asking me to do until you do what I'm asking you to do. Everybody know what that feels like. And you can't grow in that space. And I'm gonna give y'all some credit. I'm gonna give everybody some credit. It's kind of hard being in that space because you're looking at it like you hit me first. So you want me to apologize to you when you hit me first? Listen, sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is yes. Now listen, if you're listening to this message right now and your ego is not at a place where you're ready to live that kind of life, you're not ready to give that kind of love, I respect that. It's not for you right now. I hope you keep listening. I hope you keep listening. Because if it's not for you today, it might be for you at another time. But listen, we talking about making women feel safe again. That means even the woman who did you the worst. Yeah, I ain't saying you got to be her best friend. I ain't saying y'all got to be buddy-buddy. I ain't saying you even got to forget about all that goofy-ass shit that she did to you. But what I am saying is that we got to go out of our way as men to make women feel safe. Because like a lot of men, I agree with y'all. I want to be the leader in my family dynamic. The leader, right? Not the master, not the fucking, you know what I mean? I ain't got slaves out here, but I do want to be the leader. I want to be the person that women look up to as a source of confidence. Like when we don't got the answers, when we done tried it our way and we couldn't figure it out, let's look to Wolf. Wolf, what you think? Because we believe in you. Your life is proof of concept alone as it is. Anything you do, we see that it works. Even when you fuck up, you handle it with dignity and honor and integrity. And we like that about you. You special. And we feel comfortable following your lead. That's all it is. Everybody follows the lead. Listen, if you got a boss, if you don't own the company that you work at, you following the lead. You following multiple leads. You got your manager, you got your supervisor, you got the CEO, you got all that. You know what I mean? So nobody's bigger than the program. One of my favorite things to say on this podcast, nobody is bigger than the program. Everybody got to have a program that they follow. And the program is what's the best for all of us. And guys, I'm telling you right now, it's not best for all of us to continue to point the finger at what they did wrong. Because one thing that we might have to be honest about, one thing that we might have to admit is that a lot of the things they did wrong is because we did wrong by them first. And us doing wrong could look a couple different ways. Maybe we was not leading by example. Maybe we was slipping on the pimping. And maybe if you was tightened up a little bit, she wouldn't have got too loose on you. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe she wouldn't have got too loose on you. Maybe she wouldn't have got out of pocket if you would have just led by example better, led by example greater. If you'd have led with those integrity, if you'd have led with that integrity and them values, then maybe she would have realized ain't no space to be fucking up with bro. And then let me also tell you what sometimes where men fuck up. If she get out of line and you didn't demonstrate it, every reason why you deserve to be followed and she still get out of pocket, then separate yourself from that woman. I know it's easier said than done, but find a way to do it, gang. Figure out a way to do it. Whatever you got to do, get your affairs in order, man. Get your ducks in a row and walk away from that woman. That's another way you can lead by example, by letting her know I ain't going for that shit. I ain't going by none of this goofy shit. If you going to fuck with me, we going to rock a certain kind of way. Nobody's bigger than the program. And as men, we must make women feel safe again. We have to. Maybe they were never safe again in the first place, but we're going to try our best. See, the thing is, I understand that I can't convince all of you men. I understand that. I can't reach out to all of y'all because y'all got way too many things going on. Everybody's life is so dynamic and so multi-layered that I can never speak to every situation of why a man has become the man that he's become. For better or for worse, I can't speak to it all. But what I can do is hopefully put my vibration out in the world and get a select few to come see things the way I'm kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people close to the edge, man, they just need a push. They just need somebody's voice that they could trust. And maybe I'm not a trustworthy voice to you yet, but keep listening. And you might see. You know what, this dude, all right. I'm not trying to be the boss of nobody. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the leader of nobody, but I am trying to set the example. I got to have this conversation because it got to start somewhere, right? I don't see nobody having a conversation of how we as men can make women feel safe again. And so because I don't see it, I got to be the one to do it. And I hope that more men start to have the conversation. Yes, all women are not great. Yes, some women ain't shit. That's a fact. You don't get no arguments from me. You shouldn't get no arguments from nobody about that. Women will tell you that women ain't shit. Men will tell you that women ain't shit. But then neither are we. Nobody's perfect in this situation, man. Everybody's hands get a little dirty, man. And we all got to do our part to go to that sink and clean them so that we can start anew with these handshakes. You get what I'm saying? We got to make women feel safe again as men, because if we want women to follow our lead, we have to show them why it's safe to do so in the first place. We got to show them. Do not expect a woman to get on your program if you haven't even laid down a good program yet. Nobody enrolls into a bad school. Nobody is rushing to get in line for a school that don't produce scholars. Nobody's doing that. So if you want people to get on your program, then you have to set an example first. You have to be your own proof of concept and show women, why is it that I'm worthy or I'm deserving to be followed if you so choose to follow, because it's her choice and her choice alone at all times. That's what we're going to talk about, man. And I got a couple different topics, man, a couple different things that I want to pinpoint, about 6 things. 6 things that I want to pinpoint about how we as men can start the work to make women feel safe again. In this conversation, I'm going to go over 6 things that I think men can start to do to begin that work to getting women to trust us again and to start making women feel safe. And the first way we can do that is, listen, guys, if you want to make women feel safe again, offer your support and expect nothing in return. Now, listen, before we condemn anybody, the first thing we got to do is we got to start with empathy. We have to be empathetic to understanding that every household in America and all over the world teaches a different set of values, a different set of integrity, a different set of knowledge, a different set of wisdom, right? No 2 households are the same, just like no children are the same in the same house, right? So you got to understand that for everything that a man doesn't know, it comes from a lack of what he was not taught. It comes from a lack of what he was never taught. If a man doesn't understand something and something is not clear to him, it's because the people that were supposed to teach him and enlighten him did not do that. And if they didn't do it, it's probably because they didn't know it either. So you're looking at generational issues going on amongst men. A man doesn't just become a threat to women out of nowhere. That comes from his parents. That comes from his homies, his environment, his community, people that he looks up to. So you got to understand that before we put the pressure and judge one man, we got to understand that one man belongs to a greater issue. There's a pool, there's an echo chamber somewhere that is creating men like this. And sometimes it's the music, sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's the people that were supposed to be teaching him. You never really know where this is coming from. So before you get to a place where you judge any one man, understand that it's a domino effect to how that man got here. We have to offer our support and respect, nothing in return. You got to be the type of man that's willing to offer your time, your money, and your resources and expect nothing in return. Because what it does is it creates trust. Once a woman realizes that a man is going out of his way to make sure that she can better her life and don't want nothing from her, because all he wants or what he gets from it is being happy, knowing that you can become better, that's going to create a trustful place between us and women. That creates trust between men and women. Once you show a woman that you're capable of lifting her up without asking for anything in return, you create trust. That's how you create trust. And when you create trust, you create safety. And once you create safety, you create comfortability. You get what I'm saying? Energy is a domino effect. It's a ladder, man. It's a 3-step, multi-step process. Listen, man, regardless of how we got here, we're living in a culture where women understand there's a 50-50 chance that if this man gives me something, that he expects something from me in return. Men expect sex in exchange for anything that they do a lot of the time, and we got to stop that. We got to stop that. Now, I know it's unrealistic to think that I can speak to all men. I know that I can't. And women, I need you to understand as well. It is not realistic for me to speak to all men. Some men just gonna want that booty regardless. It don't matter. That's just how they are, right? We can't change them all. Jesus couldn't change them all. Neither can none of us. And ain't none of us gonna ever be on Jesus' level. But understand that for the men that are willing to change, for the men that might have never heard this type of message, there's still a chance. Don't judge all of us, ladies. Give us time. If I'm here, then there's others just like me. I'm not the only one. As long as men continue to expect sex in return for doing good favors for women, there will never be trust between us. Women will never feel comfortable because y'all using the same internet I'm using. How many Amber Alerts do we hear about women disappearing? Women being kidnapped, women being raped, women being abused, women being physically violated. All of these things in order to have sex. All of these things because some men don't value sex and they're willing to do anything to get it. So women have a firm understanding that they have something that every man on earth wants in some type of capacity, whether he's willing to earn it or take it. And that knowingness, that fear can be a lot for a woman to carry, man. It could be a big burden. Imagine going through TSA with a backpack full of cocaine and they got the sniffing dogs coming through. You'd be shitting bricks. You be sweating beads, bro. You be so fucking stressed out of your mind. You couldn't be able to handle it. I feel like that's how women must feel when they carrying around the box. As men, we got to get to a place where we expect nothing in return, nothing but just to see women be happy. I know that a lot of men have been socialized to see sex every time they see a woman. I know that a lot of men think that it's okay to expect sexual behaviors every single time they do something nice for a woman because you giving some of your very limited bread, because you giving some of your very limited time. And you think, okay, this is how you do it. But that's the math don't math that way, brother. Listen, if that woman want to lay down with you, she will just off the strength of how much she rock with you. You don't gotta be, you don't gotta it don't gotta be do something for me and I'll give you sex later. Some women will just have sex with you just because they like you, bro. Newsflash. It don't got nothing to do about how many things can you do for me. For some women it is, but for a good majority of them, it is not. So you don't have to leverage your support for sex all the time, brother. Listen, if she want to have sex with you, she just gonna do that already. But we got to create a safe space, man. Give to women without asking for nothing in return. Because giving is give to women because you like to see women feel good. You know what's some fly shit? Giving to women because you like to see them feel comfortable. Because you like to see them feel safe. That's the fly shit in the world right there. Because you know what? If she want to give you something, she gonna give it to you regardless. You don't gotta try to convince her to do so. Let her give it to you because that's her choice to make. Just like it's our choice to decide who we want to marry as men, it's their choice to decide who they want to share their bodies with, bro. Offer your support and expect nothing in return because women are already assuming what you want from them. They already having an idea of this man want to bother me. This man want my body. He wants something from me, right? Well, let's surprise him. But how about this? Let's start a new challenge. Let's see how many things we can do for women and expect nothing in return, just to fuck their head up. Because if women feel safe in the community, that means the community is good. Because if women feel safe in the community, that means it's actually a safe community. For all the good men out there, let's start that challenge, man. Let's see how many good things we can do for women and expect nothing in return. Number two, if you want to make women feel safe again, understand that protection and control is not the same thing. Protecting a woman and controlling a woman is two different things. And a lot of the time we get this fucked up, and I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it comes from watching our fathers deal with our mothers or watching our fathers deal with their girlfriends or whatever the case is. But I need you to understand that you can protect a woman without having to enforce your rule on her. Protection is supposed to come from love. You're supposed to want to protect a woman because you want to see her flourish and continue to enjoy her life, not to control her and to feed your ego like I can make you do whatever I want you to do. Because control is no longer freedom. Anything that you want a woman or expect a woman to do, she should already feel comfortable enough to do it because that's what she wants to do. You can't make her do nothing, but she can be inspired to want to do it because of how much she rock with you. That's the only safe space that you could ever be in with a woman. You can't control her. You can't make her do something that you think she should do, but what you can do is tell her what you need and tell her what you expect. And if she respects you enough, she'll end up doing it already. And you didn't have to control her to get what you wanted. See, you don't got to control her to get what you want. If you lead by example and she's a good woman, she'll do that automatically. Whatever it is that you expected from her, whatever it is that you want to see her do for you or see her do for y'all, she's going to do that without even having to be asked. Or even better yet, you can just ask her one time and she gonna get with the program already because she understands what she's doing it for. And you didn't have to control her to do that. See, protection makes a safe space for a woman. Once a woman feels safe, once a woman feels comfortable, she can become her best self. That means she can become the best listener. She can become the best provider. She can become the best whatever you need her to be because she knows that she's not in danger. She should only be worrying about her safety when she's outside of the home of where y'all exist. When she's home, she shouldn't have to worry about feeling safe. That should be the safest place in the world. She should be able to laugh the way she wants to. She should be able to cry the way she wants to. She should be able to eat the way she wants to. As long as she's not disrespecting you, she should be able to be free. And only when she goes outside these four walls where y'all cannot control the world should she even be concerned about being safe or not. But as long as she with you, she should feel safe. Listen, when women feel safe, everything is great. If you got a safe woman, you got a great woman. A lot of the time, men be asking shit from women and they not getting it because the woman don't feel safe. I can't speak for all women. All women are not equal. All women are not the same. There's bad women and there's great women. All women are not great and all women are not bad. There's beautiful women and there's bad women. And I don't mean bad like sex appeal. Some women are just bad, not quality human beings. But we're not talking about them. We're never talking about low quality human beings. And that go for the men or the women, whoever it's pertaining to that's listening right now. We never talking about the bad apples. We talking about the good ones that's growing fresh off the vine. Them the ones that we talking about. And when we talking about those kind of women, if you want to nurture them and set them up to have the best success that they could have for not only themselves, but for you in this relationship, whatever the dynamic of that relationship is, you got to make them feel safe. And the first way you can make women feel safe, my brothers, is understanding that protection and control is not the same thing. You protect out of love. Protection don't got nothing to do with fueling your ego. See, protection has nothing to do with fueling a man's ego. Protection is just simply what a man does because he loves. He do this out the strength, just to see you happy, just to see you walk around comfortable, just to see you have one less thing to be stressed about. That's what protection is. Protection is love. Control is ego. It's stress. It's anxiety. It's manipulation. It's dictatorship. Nah, we only control things that have to be controlled. If a man try to walk up in my house without my permission, I'm gonna control that situation. And I'm protecting her by doing that. I'm controlling him, but I'm protecting her. You get what I'm saying? If a man try to step to me and take something from me, I'm protecting myself, but I'm controlling him. We don't gotta control women. All we gotta do is protect them, and then they will feel encouraged to be them best selves with us. As long as we create the proper environment for women to succeed, our relationships with them will be successful. And guess what? If you do everything you're supposed to do as a man and she's still not acting right, then separate yourself from that woman, bro. It's not complicated. Now, the real fault is when you know she ain't doing everything right and you still enable her bad activity by allowing herself to be around you still. That's where you fucking up, King. That's where you fucking up at. Because if you know she ain't doing the right thing, then why do you continue to allow her to be blessed by your presence? And vice versa. If you're a woman and you around a man and you know he don't act right and you know he ain't gonna do no good, then why do you continue to allow yourself to be in this man's presence when he don't deserve it? He don't deserve nothing you giving him, but you continue to enable his bad energy and his bad habits, and he not learning his lesson. Let's start this challenge. Listen, as men, let's go out into the world and let's find different ways to protect women. And protecting women, all it really means is making women feel safe. I am not saying that you gotta go out of your way to die for a woman that you don't know. I am not saying that. And I would not advise that. If that's on your heart, and if it's on your heart to put yourself in harm's way to see a woman feel safe, that's between you and God, brother. And I hope all the angels and all the adrenaline is with you in that moment. But for the rest of the guys that's not willing to do that, what I'm saying is that you just got to make a woman feel safe. You don't got to die for nobody, but you can go out of your way to make a woman feel safe. You can do that. And that's by maybe opening doors, pulling a woman's seat out, talking to her, checking up on her, asking her if she need anything, being a safe space for her to talk to without judgment, free of judgment. That's creating a safe space. These are things that we can do. You don't gotta protecting women don't always gotta mean you gotta run into a speeding bullet for her, man. Sometimes it just means you can pull out a chair for her. Sometimes it means you can give her a couple dollars if she needs it. Sometimes you can just be a voice for her to listen to without judgment. Like, yeah, that shit you saying actually fucking crazy, but I'm not gonna judge you. Not unless you actually want some real honest advice. Now, if you want some real honest advice, I can give it to you. But until then, I just want to be a listening ear for you because I can tell you need it. You walking around this motherfucker looking down, looking sad, like your vibration low. What can we do to bring that vibration up? That's called protecting women. And you don't got nothing, you don't got to control them. Control ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, number 3, if we want to make women feel safe again, let's validate their experiences and listen to their stories. Ladies, let me explain something to y'all. As men, we latch ourselves on to the stories of a man accused of rape and then he didn't do it, but then went to jail for a long time. As men, we latch ourselves onto the stories of fathers who have always been present in their child's life with their time and their resources, and then still got put on child support, and then was not able to see their kid on top of that. We latch ourselves onto these stories. And in our minds, these stories are the majority. We think that this is the norm now. When truth be told, that's a fair mindset. If we look around, we can find a million cases where that is not the case. Because as men, if we just were to open our eyes and look around, we would find plenty of examples where women did not do the man the worst way. We'll find plenty of examples where the worst case situation did not happen. But for some reason, ladies, as men, we latch ourselves onto these worst stories because we see ourselves in the man who has became the victim of the situation. We see ourselves in him and we think that it could happen to us. So a lot of the time when we're hearing stories about something that a woman went through, we latch on to that story. A woman will never feel safe if whenever she gets ready to tell you some real shit, all you do is invalidate her experience and you don't listen to her. She will never feel safe. A woman will never feel safe if she feels like you don't listen to her experiences. How can a woman feel safe when she goes to a man that she trusted with information about how she was taken advantage of by somebody and you don't believe her? You're literally asking that woman to leave her comfort zone and to find protection somewhere else where she might not even find it. As men, the first thing we got to do is get that idea out of our mind that all women is lying, bro. That every woman is lying about being physically abused, to being emotionally manipulated. We got to stop thinking that they lying off top, man. We got to stop with the skepticism. We got to come with open arms and open ears to listen and receive, man, and accept. That's the only way that this is going to work. Listen, my mama always raised me saying what's done in the dark will come to the light. And I'm pretty sure that's biblical. So even if a woman was lying to us, fellas, we got to trust and believe that that will be revealed, man. Play your cards right, man, and be smooth. If you're dealing with a woman who's deceitful and hateful and capable of the type of lying that'll put your life in harm's way, then you shouldn't have been rocking with that type of girl in the first place, man. You should have had some way better discernment, and you should have, I don't know, that's a bigger problem. It's not you got a way bigger problem on your hands because if you got a deceitful woman on your hands who's capable of really hurting you, then the lie is the least of your problems. The lie is like the leaf. You need to get to the root of the tree. You need to get to the root of where that shit really come from. You need to get your hands up in that soil and realize, like, oh, this woman is a weed. This man is a weed. Let me pick your ass up and throw your ass way over there so you ain't got no chances of growing up. So you ain't even got no chances of growing over here again. I'm not saying that you can see through everybody's deceitful nature. I'm not saying that because everybody can be manipulated. It can happen to the best of us. But more importantly, what I am saying is that give the person in your life the benefit of the doubt if they haven't done anything to betray your trust in the first place. If you're dealing with somebody that has betrayed your trust, then it makes sense why you would be hesitant to believe them. But if that person has not betrayed your trust, if that person has not lost integrity in your eyes, then why are you challenging them on their story? We got to believe them. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If me as a man, I tell you somebody did something to me, I'm gonna want y'all to believe me, man. Because I ain't never gave you a reason to not believe me. I ain't never gave you a reason to think that I'm Pinocchio or I'm the boy who cried wolf and that you can't trust my word. Like my word ain't bond. My word is bond. If I tell you something happened, that shit happened. And I need us as men to extend the same level of grace to women out there. It doesn't mean that we're gonna get it right every single time, but we have to get out of this fear mindset that but we have to find a way to get out of this fear mindset that women are lying to us. Let's give them trust first. Let's lead with our hearts first. Let's at least try doing that because we create a safer space for them and we have a better chance of being in the type of environment that we all want to be in if we just lead with that level of love, bro. Let's lead with love, bro. Let's lead with love, man. We can't lead with fear because fear creates more fear. How we supposed to be leading and we scared of women telling us the truth? We supposed to be the examples of strength. Strength is honesty. Let's listen and validate women's experience so that they can trust us, bro. If we want to create a safer space, we want to knock off all this gender war shit. We got to make them feel safe, man. And one of the ways that we can do that is by listening to them and believing them. And you know what? If they lying, let the truth come out later, man. Ain't nobody above God, man. If you lying, it's gonna come out, man. Think about all these people that ain't got exposed. P. Diddy, Epstein, all these people. Nobody's dirt gets hidden forever. Nobody's dirt go unseen for a lifetime. Nobody's dirt goes unseen forever, man. Everybody gets their chance, man. As long as my God up in the sky, doing what he doing what a God do, everybody gonna get their just due around this motherfucker. Ain't nobody bigger than the program of God. And I need men to understand that. And then trust God even more, that if they lying to you, you're gonna find out. And then you're gonna be okay. And everything gonna be all right. But the first thing you gotta do is you gotta lead with that trust because trust shows strength. And if you want to be respected and you want to be an example of somebody that could be followed, then you gotta exemplify that strength. And that strength is not gonna come from your fears. If you want to create a safe space for women, then show them that you're trustworthy and that you'll listen to them the first time they tell you something went down. Don't challenge them. Don't make a woman feel small because she didn't do the obvious thing that you would have did in that situation. She not you, bro. And what happened already happened. What you need to do is listen to what she's saying and accept her and embrace her with open arms, bro. Make her feel warm. Don't make her feel smaller than she already does, because chances are she already feels bad about the thing. I'm surprised she even gained the strength to tell you in the first place. So let's reward women for even having the strength to come to us and tell us whatever it is that they got going on in their heart and their mind when they really struggling with it. Number four, if you want to make women feel safe again, as men, we got to challenge misogyny when we see it. If we see one of our homies, we see one of our colleagues, we see one of our peers doing something inappropriate with a woman, we got to let them know. If we see a man mentally abusing a woman and we see that she don't know how to get out of it, we got to let him know. If we see a man putting his hands on a woman, stealing from a woman, wasting a woman's time when she's a good woman, when she a great woman, we got to let that man know. And we got to stop being afraid of the repercussions, and we got to stop being afraid of losing friends. Any man that's a threat to a woman can never be a friend to a good man. You can never be a friend to a good man. It's just not possible. It's only a matter of time before the evilness that's in his heart that you think is only exclusive to that woman becomes exclusive to you too. Listen, it don't work that way. I don't understand how men could be friends with somebody who puts a woman down and then think that he won't put you down in another area of his life. If he ain't putting you down, it's only because he's scared of you. It's only because he ain't seen the opportunity yet. But as soon as he see one, don't be surprised when you find out what his man is really capable of, man. If we want to make women feel safe again, then we got to prove to women that we are not standing for nobody disrespecting them. As men, we got to stand on the ultimate business in that way. You want to stand on business as a man? Show a woman that you ain't gonna let nobody violate her in front of you. Not in front of me. What you said? Nah, bro, clean that up and try that again. You need to tighten that one up. And you know what? Maybe you're dealing with a man that you know can whoop your ass. You got to fight his ass another kind of way then. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you to go out here and do nothing stupid. I'm not telling you to go out here and do nothing to put your life in harm's way. But what I am saying is that show a woman that you are in support of her, bro. It doesn't mean you got to run in front of bullets. It doesn't mean you got to run in front of a car. It doesn't mean that you have to die. But find a way to live and support and show her that she has your support so that she can feel safe, bro. Find a way. And one of the ways that we can do that is by standing up against misogyny, bro. If you see some shit that another man doing and you know it's wrong, let that man know he wrong, bro. Let that man feel seen. Sometimes feeling seen be the first step to changing anything. Because a lot of men who go out of their way to oppress women, they scary anyway. They scary, man. They wouldn't bust a grape. They wouldn't swat a fly. They scary. So you even letting them know that you see them is all the power in the world. It's like when you see those videos of these guys, it's like when you see these kind of videos where men would disguise themselves as underage girls just to lure out a predator. And then they catch the predator in a Walmart or something like that. That nigga be shocked to see these two grown men in front of him. He'd be shocked. And that's the type of thing that we need to do for all the bad men in the world. We need to let them know that we see you. I'm never so far away as a good man that you think you can get your shit off to a good woman and not deal with the repercussions of it. That would never happen. Think about how governments deal with cities and neighborhoods, man. They be putting police presence there so the crime can go down. We need to be that same presence. We need to be the presence around men who are not good, men who are bad, men who go out their way to make women's life hard. We need to just be, because sometimes us just being around will mitigate some of that bullshit that they like to do when they think nobody's there, when they think they alone. Let's be that source of accountability for these men, man. Let's make our women feel safe again. Let's create this trust, man. Let's stop this gender war shit, man. Let's create a dynamic where women can understand that as long as I'm around, you gonna be good. And I can't guarantee everything gonna be all right, but I can guarantee you that you ain't gonna go through it by yourself. I can guarantee you that I'm gonna support you and expect nothing in return. I can guarantee you that you got a friend in me. I can guarantee you that I have your best interests in mind, whether my back is turned to you or not. I'm always gonna be one phone call away for you. I'm always gonna be in arm's reach for you. If you need something, holla at me. That's the type of love that we gotta give to our women. If we wanna make women feel safe again, then we gotta show them that no matter where you at in this neighborhood, no matter where you at in this zip code, if you need me, holla, I'm there. This is not an excuse for women to put good men in danger because they don't know how to have emotional intelligence and they wanna show their ass. Not at all. Not at all. And men, we also gotta have discernment. Once again, all women are not angels, and all women are not perfect, and all women are not equal. Some women will put you in danger because they being irresponsible with their emotions. Let's stay clear from them women. We're never addressing them women. We only talk about the good quality women. Only good quality women do we ever talk about on this podcast. We ain't talking about the women who ain't shit. We don't give a fuck about them because they ain't shit, and we know that already. Number five, let's make women feel safe again and respect their boundaries. Let's respect their space. If a woman say no, that mean no, bro. If a woman say no, that means no. If a woman say not right now, that means not right now. If that woman is communicating to you, if that woman is communicating to you, whether it's verbally or through body language, pick up on the cues and read the room, nigga. If she not with it, then that means she not with it, and you have to be okay with that. Nobody gets everything they want at all time. What makes you think you know different than that? What makes you think that don't apply to you? What makes you think that you bigger than the program, that you can get everything that you want? If she said no, that means no. If she don't feel like it, that means she don't feel like it. She don't want to give you her number, she don't gotta give you her number, nigga. If she don't want to talk to you, she don't gotta talk to you. Respect that. Understand that everybody gets rejected. It happens. Nobody is above it. But you know what? I'm not out here now deciding that all women bitches and all women ain't shit now because somebody rejected me. What about all the women who don't reject you? What about all the women that accept you? And if you getting rejected by all women, there's something wrong with you. Either you ugly as hell and you really need a super special woman only sent from God, or you got some ugly qualities about you. See, some of us has got looks and shit that we can't change, but let's talk about the things that we can change, man. Let's talk about the things that we can work on. Where's your principles? Where's your honor? Where's your valor? Where's your integrity at? Where is that? Because last time I checked, that's how you get a good woman. That's how you get a woman to get up on your program, by showing her that you're a great man. Great men aren't born, they're built. They're built. You have to become a great man. Nobody's a great man by default. You might be a good person, but are you a great man? I don't think so. The only way you become a great man is that you build your character. You get nurtured to be this way. A lot of men have the potential. They come from good families. They don't got no reason to be a bad man, and yet here they are. How many niggas do we know that come from good families, got every excuse in the world to be good, to be a good member of society to women, and yet here they are being a fucking asshole, being a fucking bitch-ass nigga. It happens all the time. Good men are built. Build yourself, man. Educate yourself, man. Go talk to women and hear their side of the story, man, and see what's going on from their side, from their perspective, man. Be a great man. Don't be good, my nigga. Be great. You heard what Jay-Z said, man? When a woman like you, she like you, and it ain't rocket science either. That shit ain't gonna be hieroglyphics, man. You ain't gonna have to decode the message and en route the encryption. You ain't gonna have to do none of that shit. Crack the safe, none of that shit, man. If she like you, you gonna know that. You gonna know that. And if you don't know that, that means she don't like you. If it ain't clear, stand clear, nigga. Stand clear. Get away. Move away from that situation, man. Make women feel safe, man. Respect her boundaries. She said what she said. Even if she didn't say it, you can peep from that body language, man. You can peep from the energy. I know you see what's going on, man. And listen, sometimes women be bitches sometimes. Men be bitches sometimes. Nobody is above being a bitch. People have bitchy days. But if she feeling like she having a bitchy day, let her have it. That is not then an excuse for you to call out her name, to then get angry and bother her and harass her. That's not an excuse. Just because she being a bitch don't give you an excuse to be a bad guy to her now. Just walk away, bro. Go find a type. You don't like bitchy women? Go find a woman that you like. Because somebody gonna like what I got going on. Listen, men, we gotta have more confidence. Oh, trust and believe. Oh, you don't like what I got going on? Cool. No problem. Somebody gonna like what I got going on over here, man. Somebody gonna buy what I'm selling out here. And that's the type of confidence you gotta have as a man. Don't nobody want no angry, bitter, unconfident man. Who wants that, bro? Don't nobody want that, man. Listen, respect her space and respect her boundaries. If she don't want you, it's no problem. Wanna know why? Because another woman will. Go find that other woman, man. Why you wasting your time with a woman who already let you know she don't want you? She don't want you, bro. I ain't wasting my time with you. That's like staying somewhere where you ain't getting paid. I'm trying to get to the money. Where the money at? I'm going somewhere where people see my value and they gonna compensate me for that. That's the only place I'm trying to be. Respect their boundaries, man. Number 6, if you want to make women feel safe again, educate yourself on what women got going on, man. It's a crazy world outside. Learn about these numbers. Learn about these statistics. Learn about how unsafe it is for women in your neighborhood. Learn about how many registered sex offenders in your neighborhood, man. Learn about how many women have dealt with domestic violence, man. Learn about these things. Because as men, we be so gullible. We be living in our own personal world because we don't got to worry about nobody trying to grape us. We don't got to worry about nobody trying to beat us up because we don't want to give them our number. Men don't got to deal with that. Half of us too ugly to even have to worry about that type of shit. Half of us is way too undesirable to ever even worry about that. So we live in a safety. Even undesirable men are more safe than undesirable women. Undesirable men are safer than undesirable women. We living in this privilege, man. We gullible. And sometimes we need another man to pop our bubble and help us understand that, hey, you don't understand how good you got it. Even on your worst day, you don't got to worry about nobody trying to grape you in the street. You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to beat you up and harass you now and follow you all the way home, all because you won't give them a little bit of attention. Even the most undesirable man don't got to worry about that. Men are privileged. We are privileged. It's great to be a man. It's also very hard, but it's also very hard for everybody. It's hard for all of us, bro. It would benefit all of us as men if we went out of our way to do a little education, man. Let's figure out about what's actually going on with women, man. They live a very different lifestyle than us, man. I can't remember the last time I ain't been scared to go outside and take the trash out since I was a little boy. Women probably scared to do that all the time because who am I going to encounter on my way to the trash? Who am I going to encounter on my way to the car when I'm leaving the bar, when I'm heading to my homegirl's crib? Who am I going to encounter? Who going to bother me today? Women can't do nothing. They can't put on enough baggy clothes. They can't even walk out the house with their pimples showing with no makeup. Somebody gonna bother them, bro. It's hard being a woman. Men, we be in peace. We be in peace. Don't nobody be bothering us. We don't understand how good we got it as men. And what I'm saying is that if you want to make women feel safe again, we can educate ourselves on what's going on so that we can start to try our best to walk through their shoes. At least, if nothing else, extend women a little bit more empathy. Let's extend them a little bit more empathy. Although we won't never understand what it's like to be them, we can empathize with the situation and therefore extend them the grace that they deserve. Let's extend women the grace that they deserve, man. Let's do that for them. Number 6, let's support women's choices. It don't matter that what that woman want or how she see her life don't match up with the values of mine. It don't matter. That's her life. And if that woman is not a woman in my life, what does that even matter? Even if it is a woman that's in my life, listen, when are we going to stop living in delusion and understand that protection and control is not the same thing? If that woman wants to do something that doesn't align with my values and my morals, that's her life. That's her business. The best thing I could do is try to protect her if she ever need my help. Let's say she wrong. Let's say you right. Let's say that thing that you told her not to do was a dangerous thing for her. That's the choice that she made. If you're not that woman's father, if you're not that woman's brother, and if you're not in a relationship with that woman, it's not much you can do, bro. You got to find a way to let her learn her lessons the way all of us need our lessons to be learned, by putting your hand in that fire. You put your hand in that fire, you realize, oh, this shit is hot. I would never do that again. That's right. Everybody gets their wisdom the same kind of way. So don't be concerned about controlling a woman and just focus on protecting her instead. And sometimes you can't protect everybody from everything. And as a man, understanding that is also okay. You are not Superman. You are not God. Support her choices. Listen, nobody's choices aligns with everything that everybody expects from them. Nobody makes everybody happy. That's what free will is all about. That's what freedom is. Individuality. We have to give people space to have that. We got to give people space to experience their individuality, even if we feel like it's stupid, even if we feel like it's dumb. And it's no different when it comes to men supporting women's choices. Listen, if we got women in the street saying all these niggas ain't shit, men are non-trustworthy, I can never be with a man, let her have that. Who cares? Who cares what she thinks? Because there's 100 million other women who don't agree with that at all. Why do we focus on the ideas of few instead of resonating with the ideas of many? Let's figure out how we can do that, man. We don't gotta spend time arguing with people that we don't agree with. We don't gotta spending a lot of time with people that we don't see eye to eye with. We really don't, man. Let's move past them. Leave them people where you found them. Maybe one day they'll come to the other side. Maybe they won't. Doesn't matter. Long as my money stay in my pocket and my lights stay on and my bills get paid, it doesn't matter to me what another woman does, man. So you can easily support them. Sometimes support is letting them have their shit. Hey, rock out. Do your thing. Ain't no sweat off my back. Ain't no sweat off my back at all. It don't cost me nothing to support you. You know what I mean? Sometimes support is letting somebody do their thing even when you don't agree with them. As men, we got to stop acting like we don't got love for women just because they don't do the things that we think that they should be doing. We got to stop acting like that. Protection is not control. Protection is not control, my brother. Listen, these are the ways that you can make women feel safe again. It's important that we make women feel safe again because as men, a big majority of us want to be the leaders. We want to lead. We want to be the person who make the final decision because we think that we can be trusted with that. We want to be that one, right? And a lot of women want men to make the final decision. Not all women. All women don't rock like that. All women don't need a man to follow. All women don't need a partner to walk side by side with. All women don't want that. We're not a monolith. Nobody wants everything. Everybody doesn't want all things. We can't please everybody. But the whole point is that if you are the type of man that is looking for the type of woman that is looking for a leader and you want to lead that woman, show her why you a safe space, bro. Show her why it is a good decision to follow you if she ever chooses to. If she ever chooses to. Because it's going to be times where you got to follow her. And it's going to be times where she going to follow you. But the only way either one of us can do that is if we create an environment where we feel like it's safe to do so. It's like, oh, it's cool. I know I could. Even if I follow that person and they fuck up, even if what they said was going to happen don't happen, I know that they was leading from sincerity, from generosity, from the kindness of their heart. It was coming from a good place. And therefore, I'm not going to judge them too hard, or I'm not going to tax them. I'm not going to hold them to it too crazy, because it's love at the end of the day. Okay, cool. We failed, but we're going to get back up and we're going to try again. Let's try it again. And maybe this time, maybe pay attention to this time. You know, collaboration. We got to work together. We got to work together, man. Let's make women feel safe again. Let's do that as men. I want to challenge all men that are listening to this. Please go out of your way and work on something that applies to you. Maybe some of this don't apply to you. Maybe some of it does. Maybe there's some things that I didn't even think of to speak about, and that you know that you could be doing better. Let's make our mothers feel safe. Let's do the best that we can do, man. Because one thing that we all got to understand as men, every woman is a daughter to somebody. She's a sister to somebody. She's a mother to somebody. She's an auntie to somebody. She's a grandmother to somebody. She's a best friend to somebody. She's a wife to somebody. She's a girlfriend to somebody. She's important. And even though we don't know her, we have to value her like she is important. Just because we don't know her, just because we're not getting anything from her, does not mean that she does not deserve her respect. That woman is important, and she got somewhere to be. And more importantly, at the end of the night, she wants to go home. Let's create a safe space for women. Because I believe that if we create a safe space for women, if we take the lead, if we make the first step, then women will feel inclined and comfortable to make a safe space for us. And you know, man, we simple. We don't even be asking for much. So the things that you think you can't get, imagine if you just created this safe space and you started getting all those things that you wanted. That would be kind of nice. That would be kind of nice, man. Some of that respect you feel like you're not getting, it's because you haven't created a safe space. And if you did create that safe space and she's still tripping, man, you better separate yourself from that woman. Why is she even here? Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Why is she around? Man, move around from that woman, man. Get you somebody who understand the value of what it is that you do and the value of what it is that you bring to the table. Listen, this is the Halfway Up Podcast, man. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, leave a review. Let people know how you feel about me, man. Let's turn this halfway up shit up, man. I am your host, Wolf Taylor. Remember, we must stay healthy. Youth is temporary, but health is forever. It's forever. Health is forever, man. Youth is temporary, man. That shit come and go, pew, gone. But health, that stay with you for an eternity. It's something that you teach. It's something that you pass on. It's something that you show people, man. We must stay healthy. And before we get out of here, you already know the spirit, the mantra, the religion, the brand. Whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then that means that I'm living in my purpose, man. Halfway up. Let's make women feel safe again.